Ross here, Bigwater Fishing. You guys know that. Spinner rigs are one of my favorite things to do kind of late spring into the summer, and then sometimes even in the early fall. A couple different ways we're putting these together. Used a lot of different lines through the years. Right now I'm using 20-pound Shinsei leader material by P-Line. We're putting a handful of beads on there, enough to make sure that we don't touch that front hook so that that blade doesn't cover. Using some quick change clevises, handful of different types of those, because that way we can switch those blades out without cutting and retying, which is nice. The big thing is the hook setup. This is really kind of the money maker deal for me. So we've got a number 2 VMC octopus hook on the front, and then we've got, you know, maybe 3 fingers, 4 fingers, something like that between. You can see what works best for you. And then we've got a number 8 round bend VMC treble hook. And that's kind of my slow stuff. If I'm going, let's say 1.3 miles an hour or under, that really seems to be the best setup for me as far as getting hooks. But this doesn't work well when you're going fast. And so, you know, again, leader length, these things are about as long as I can stretch my arms out with that good fluorocarbon leader material. But then when we get on some of the, what I would call my fast rigs, if I'm going to go 1.5 or realistically in excess of 2.2, if I'm using on dipsy divers or something like that, I use a different setup. I'm using 25-pound P-Line Shinsei leader material. It's a little stiffer, a little heavier, with a lot of wear and tear going through there. We put a little VMC swivel, and they're only about a foot long, and that's because these dipsy divers or jet diver leaders may be 8, 10, 12 feet long, something like that, if you've watched our videos like we did in the summer there with B-Team Bob and Pat. And so it's a lot easier to not have not only this expensive line, but not have to, you know, wind that all up. But down on the business end, we've got kind of the same bead set up for that. Down on the business end with the hooks, we're doing a little different. We're using 1 or 1/0 VMC octopus hooks, both singles. And that's really important because as you're going faster and you're fishing deeper, you don't want any flex in that hook. You know, we're realistically not dropping on them and things like that. So we want a little heavier hook, much bigger size there. And once those things get hooked up, they don't come off. Those treble hooks at faster speeds, they tend to actually work against you and then also just get bent up and tore up and you have to replace a lot of rigs. So adjust your hook type and size according to how fast you're going and even your leader length. You're gonna catch more fish then. Right, producer dude?